Right now, millions of people are booking flights to places that are actively on fire. Athens just had another heat warning, Rome hit the high 30s again, and somewhere, a couple is standing in a 2-hour line for gelato sweating through their vacation photos. Meanwhile, a completely different kind of traveler figured something out. They're not chasing sun anymore, they're chasing comfort. It's called coolcationing, and it's quietly becoming one of the biggest travel trends of the year, with search interest up by triple digits. Today I'm showing you 5 coolcation spots that aren't just go to Iceland. These are the ones locals kind of wish weren't blowing up. Let's get into it. Let's start with the spot that's growing faster than anywhere else on Earth for this trend. Nuuk, Greenland. Searches for this place jumped nearly 50% in a single year, and once you see why, it makes total sense. In July, it barely creeps above 11 degrees. That's about 52 degrees. While you're getting almost 20 hours of daylight, locals here have quietly enjoyed this for years, kayaking between icebergs, watching them drift past Ilulissat, hiking without ever breaking a sweat. Insider tip: book early. Greenland's summer tours have already sold out multiple seasons in a row. This is not a wing-it destination. And get an eSIM before you land, because once you leave Nuuk, signal gets thin fast. Next, and this is the one actual locals are side-eyeing me for, including Tartu, Estonia. Everyone already knows Tallinn. It's stunning, but it's also packed. Tartu is Estonia's second city, an hour and a half south, and it has the same fairy tale medieval charm minus the crowds. Average summer temps sit around 20 degrees. That's a genuinely pleasant 68 degrees, with constant sea breeze keeping things comfortable. It's a university town, so think cafes, river walks, and a young creative energy that Tallinn's tourist center has lost a bit. Budget tip: hostels here run about 15–20 euros a night. That's less than half what you'd pay in Western Europe for the same comfort. This one feels almost unfair to include because it still barely shows up in mainstream travel content: the Faroe Islands, tucked between Iceland and Norway. Locals here live in one of the most photogenic places on the planet and mostly get to keep it to themselves. Cool misty summers, dramatic sea cliffs, and villages that look like they were built for a fantasy movie set. The catch, and it's a real one, is that weather flips fast. Bring a proper waterproof layer no matter what the forecast says. This isn't a pack-a-light cardigan destination. Now let's talk Canadian coast and Rockies, because Canada as a whole has quietly become one of the top-ranked coolcation countries in the world this year, right up there with Switzerland. Banff and Jasper sit in a genuinely comfortable range in summer, high teens to low 20s Celsius, so imagine low to mid 60s up to about 70 degrees. You get glacier-fed lakes, alpine hikes, and wildlife you won't see anywhere near a beach resort. And if mountains aren't your thing, British Columbia's coastline runs even cooler, a completely different, moodier kind of coolcation with rainforest meeting the Pacific. Local secret: go in the shoulder weeks just before or after the July-August peak. Same scenery, way fewer RVs clogging the parking lots. Last one, and this might be the most underrated of the 5, the Dolomites in northern Italy. While everyone's melting in Rome and Florence, this UNESCO World Heritage mountain range sits at a crisp, high-altitude 19 degrees, about 66 degrees. and it somehow still flies under the radar for most international travelers. Locals hike the Dre Zinna Loop, swim, or at least dip their toes, in Lago di Brais at sunrise before the crowds arrive, and sleep in mountain huts called refugios for a fraction of what a valley hotel costs. Same country, same food, same culture people fly to Italy for, just 15 degrees cooler and a whole lot quieter. So to recap, Nuuk for the truly remote Arctic experience, Tartu for cheap quiet medieval charm, the Faroe Islands if you want dramatic and untouched, Banff and Jasper for mountains, lakes, and Canadian coastline, and the Dolomites if you still want Italy, just cooler. Here's the thing about this trend that actually matters. It's not just a TikTok moment, it's driven by real climate data. Summers are getting hotter, and traditional hotspots are actually seeing bookings drop for the first time in a decade. This shift is sticking around. If you're planning a coolcation this year, drop your pick in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want the full packing list and budget breakdown for any of these 5, I've got that linked below. Subscribe if you want more of these before everyone else destination guides. See you in the next one.